How's it going, everyone? Just wanted to come back at you guys with another reef tank update. This reef tank update I want to bring to you guys because I was out of town. I was out of town for roughly about, I think it was either 10 or 11 days. This tank, nobody came to come babysit. Nobody came to come feed my fish or dose my tank or nothing like that. So this kind of shows you guys what could possibly be done when you guys go out of town for an extended amount of time. Honestly, I was scared leaving this tank alone. Luckily, didn't have too much going on. A couple things did happen, and I'll show you guys here shortly. But overall, tank is pretty much well. Oh, sorry guys, my dog's here with me too. Sorry about that. Making some strange noises there. But other than a couple casualties, I'll say half a casualty. You guys will see here soon. But the reef actually did very well. I'm actually quite surprised to see the way that it was when I came back. So the way that I was kind of keeping an eye out on the tank while I was gone was I had a camera just pointed at it. I mean, of course, it wasn't really telling me much other than I was able to see the extension of my euphilia just to see how things were going. That's kind of a telltale sign something was going wrong. Luckily, I never saw anything. They were always flapping around the water column. Also, my auto top off. I typically run a 5-gallon auto top off system. That typically lasts me roughly about 4, sometimes 5 days, but typically 4 days. So what I did, the tank that I use to mix my salt water when I do water changes is a 20-gallon. So what I did is I filled it up with 15 gallons. That'll be more than sufficient to sustain the tank while we were gone. When I came back, I luckily had still 1 or 2 gallons left, which is great. I mean, that lasted me the whole time while I was gone, so can't complain in regards to that. Other than that, that's one of the reasons why I did get that Reefer Reefer 500, that roller mat. Sorry, not the Reefer 500. I apologize. The roller mat 500 was because I was expecting to go out of town and I wasn't going to be able to have anybody come in and change my filter socks all the time. So that's one of the main things that drove me to make that purchase. And it's definitely worked out amazingly. I mean, I can't tell you how much time that's just saved me, just not having to worry about those dang filter socks. So if you guys can make that purchase, trust me, you won't regret it. Long term, we'll see how it holds up. Hopefully it doesn't break down or have any issues, but we'll see. Time will tell. All right, so moving on to the coral. So a couple things did happen. Now, one of the biggest things I would say, because there was nobody home, we had my dog somewhere else, so there was nobody breathing in air inside the home. So the major thing I did notice using my Apex is that my pH, the pH actually increased dramatically. It was about our 8.6, I believe, was the highest. And it pretty much maintained itself there, other than at nighttime, it will fall back down to like 8.3, 8.2. But it sustained itself very high, which I was actually shocked. I wasn't expecting that. Now, in return, my corals, they reacted very well to it. I did see some growth. I mean, it's not going to be anything dramatic, but I did see a slight pickup in growth in some of the coral. And also my alkalinity and calcium consumption in that week, it was out the roof. Luckily I could control my dosing while I'm away, as long as I have internet connection. So I was able to increase my dosage while I was gone, just to kind of bring it back up. My alkalinity dropped from, I usually keep about 8.5 or so. It dropped all the way to 7.6, I believe, which is very low. I was pretty scared, to be completely honest with you. So I started dosing a lot more through when I was gone. Slowly, within 3 days, I brought it up to my normal alkalinity levels. But I was scared of what I was gonna find when I came back because of that swing. Luckily, nothing died on me as far as SPS. But one thing I did notice, and I'm pretty sure is because of that fluctuation in alkalinity, is a couple of things actually split. As you notice there with my clown tanks, I now have two anemones, which it was one before. Before I left, there was no signs of splitting whatsoever. It was one new one. To my surprise, it was two separate heads once we came back. I'm pretty sure it got stressed because of the pH swing, which caused that separation, which I'm not complaining. That's awesome. Another thing as well is my mushrooms down here. I moved this rock over, so it's kind of blocking my mushrooms back there. But I had two mushrooms. Now there's five. So it from two, it made three, which is amazing. I mean, again, not complaining. So those are two separations that happened. This frog spawn here is separating, but it's been separating, so it's not because of when I was gone. I'm not sure if you're gonna be able to tell in my octo spawn here. Let me see if I could cause it to retract a little bit. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to tell. It's actually gone down. It had a big bubble in the middle of this octo spawn. I wasn't sure what it was. I had to research it. It's actually a sign that it's splitting heads. So I was shocked. I thought it would have some bacteria infection or something. But once the lights went off, I waited about an hour and I checked back in it once the polyps retracted. Yes, sure enough, it is splitting down the middle. So that two heads there will become into three because only one side's splitting. But that's the first time I've ever seen it bubble up like that. Pretty remarkable, I would say. It was kind of weird, to be completely honest with you. But that's what's currently going on in regards to when I was gone. Also, I did have half of this brain coral. I believe it's a brain coral. I forget the exact name of it. But as you could see, half of the flesh there, and it's still holding on to some of the flesh there at the bottom. Half of it's dead. I'm not sure if it's gonna recuperate, or I'll probably have to somehow figure out a way to cut it down the middle there, just to try to save the other half. What I'm thinking is what happened. It used to be on the floor. Now I kind of mounted it up there. Is this guy here? He loves to pick up the sand at the bottom there. As you can see, this is his favorite spot. That's his favorite spot, and this is where that brain coral was at the bottom there. So that half that's dead, it was fully covered with sand. So I'm sure that had some effect to it. I'm pretty sure it got infected or something happened there. But I'm gonna try to see if I can maybe cut it. Keep you guys posted, see if I can save that one. But as far as casualties go, that's pretty much the only thing that's kind of died. Other than that, everything's looking well, growing well. I accidentally broke this one again, my digitata. When I was trying to scrub some of this algae off the rocks, accidentally hit it with my scraper. So I went ahead and added another piece to that frag there, and then I put another one up there. I mean, worst case scenario, I'll go ahead and once it grows out, trade those broken pieces to my local fish store here, get some credit or something. But yeah, guys, that's really all in regards to my update. That's one thing I'm very proud of this tank, just the way that my torch corals are looking. They're expanding more and more. So I'm pretty excited just to hopefully have all this one side covered up here soon, with those splitting. Hopefully they split soon, we'll see. And then let me just show you guys real quick down here. Let me take my filter off. So this is my 5-gallon tank that I've been using for my auto top off. Here is my Reef mat 500 and my skimmer. My skimmer's a little overflowing, so I gotta clean that up there. But yeah, all this ran by itself without nobody coming in here and doing any maintenance or or doing anything for me. Sorry, but I just don't trust anybody coming to touch my tank. So I relied mostly on automation. You can see my pumps there, my apex. So if you guys can automate some of your things, trust me, the peace of mind you get when you're out, nothing can beat that. So especially when you've invested so much in your corals and your fish tank, I will highly recommend, if you can, start automating some of it, and the time savings as well. You get more free time to yourself, more free time with your family. So definitely worth the investment, in my opinion. All right, I don't want to drag this on too long. Thank you guys for sticking along with me again on another video. I'll make another one here. I'm trying to make one, at least one every month. We'll see. Nothing much changes in reef keeping. As you guys know, things move pretty slow, but I'll try to keep you guys posted here roughly in about another month or so. Thank you so much for watching, guys. See you in the next one.